Boy, do I have somebody cool to tell you about. Robert Taylor Burton was the first counselor to the presiding bishop of the church in 1889, William Preston. He was also the first territorial marshal of Utah, and he was always willing to help others. He was one of the first on the plains to help those coming in from their terrible winter journey as they crossed over to Utah. This is a speech about me, but if you're going to know the real me, you're going to need to know a little bit about my beloved ancestors. And Robert Taylor Burton was my great great grandfather. If you were to know the real me, you would know that my grandmother was one of the few women of the 1950s who earned her bachelor's degree and her master's degree. She was also Miss Utah and was valedictorian of the same high school that 52 years later I would be prom queen at. But if you were to know the real me, you would know that my life hasn't always been easy or filled with roses or a light trail. But you would also know that I have a burning testimony of my Savior Jesus Christ. When my grandmother was getting older, she got a call from the doctor that said, "I am sorry to tell you this, June, but you are pregnant with child number 7. She smiled and said, "Dear doctor, don't you know that is the best news that I have ever heard." You would know the real me if you knew that I love people. And I believe that I received this gift from my ancestors' teaching and from those who came before me. You would also know that I, like Sister Hinckley, love the quote, "There is no problem too terrible that complaining about it won't make it worse." So when I learned that I was a terrible runner, I put on my running shoes and I trained for a marathon. When I realized I had a terrible fear of heights, I jumped out of an airplane. To know the real me is to know that I know, as my grandmother knew, that I am doing the best work I could in all of eternity as the mother of 2 beautiful children in eternal partnership with God, and that I hope that my children will carry on the legacy of my family long after I am gone.